one type of technique, and it takes a while to get ready for the others. And you try to do that on a Wednesday, Thursday practice with cards and stuff to simulate, which sometimes takes till the second quarter to get used to. So to be able to scrimmage against guys and be able to do it here for 2 days is very valuable.
You mentioned Trey was under some pressure. What did you think of Trey today?
I'll see more of the tape. I challenge the O-line big time, but I'm also going to challenge him to get rid of the ball. And you got to know where those outlets are and how to get rid of it. And he didn't have the most time in everything, but it's kind of our standard with things on how fast you got to play and how, not just athletically, but your mind. I mean, you can't hesitate. You got to get rid of it because you get a sack in 2 minutes. Look at the percentages. It's pretty much over. And there's not going to be a lot of great protection there. So it's good to get him some of this experience without it being in a game. So we're just going to keep challenging him hard, and can't wait to watch the tape here in about an hour with him.
Has that been one of your major coaching development of number 11?
Brandon?
Yeah.
I think he's coming along. I mean, we've challenged him hard like we do everyone on our team. What's been nice about him, he's had some good days, some bad days, and he keeps coming back the next day harder. I mean, he's really he's been up for the challenge. He's been working his butt off, the way he's blocking, the way he's working. Regardless of how he does each day, if he keeps that attitude, he'll only get better.
What's the update on Trent Williams?
Trent, he was going to go this day. He had a little swell in his knee, so we drained it out. He's going to take this week off, and hopefully be ready for the Oakland week.
Any long-term concerns?
No, since we think he'll be ready for the Oakland week, hopefully that won't be too long.
Jimmy Garoppolo hit Travis Benjamin on the long pass, missed a couple other ones. Has he been working on the deep ball, and how's it coming along?
I think we've had a little more opportunities in this camp. I mean, he works on everything, so I'm not saying we've overdone that. We've worked on that as much as anything else. Had a couple different coverages today, which gave us a couple opportunities. He let that one rip, two to rip to Travis. The third one, he waited a little too long, which then they're all waiting down there. You just got to probably check it down and force that one a little bit, but I was happy with that look today.
Kyle, you said early in camp, we're going to rule out if Trey played really well, that he could start in week 1. Is he on that type of trajectory at this point? I mean, do you kind of see where they started in camp? Are they kind of at that place right now?
I'll answer what I think you're trying to ask. They're competing their ass off. They're doing a good job. I mean, it's not about one guy versus the other guy. It's about how good can Trey be, how good can Jimmy be. I think both of them, and when you go through camp, you go through games, you go through practices. I mean, it's up and down throughout the whole thing. So that's why I don't sit and who's ahead of the other, what's going on after each practice. I mean, they both bring different elements to our team. Both of them, I believe, can play at a high level, and I'm trying to see which one does that the best for us.
Can you see Trey getting more reps with the ones, or is it going to be the same?
No, I'd like him to get some reps with the ones eventually. We kind of reevaluate that after each practice, and not just so he can get with our ones, but also so he can go against some the one defense and stuff. So we'll see if we do some of that tomorrow. If I do, it'd be more trying to get him some reps versus Bosa and Derwin and some of those other guys too, because it's definitely a difference.
What has to happen before you're ready to put him out there with the ones?
Just that we think gives us the best chance to win.
What'd you see from Derwin today?
Just the same thing you see from every time that he's out there. He's the man. He is as good as it gets. Coming out of college, we loved him. I just love how he carries himself. You know how talented he is, but just talking to the guy and the way he acts out there, you can tell he's a special guy, and as a person and as a talent. So you guys got a good one there.
I know what have you seen out of Mike McGlinchey, what more in terms of pass blocking do you need to see out of him?
Just same thing I've kind of said about each player. I mean, it's up and down throughout all camp. I know it was nice for him to get some reps for some real good guys today. I'll see when I see the tape, but I just want him to keep getting better.
I know you don't game plan, obviously, for a practice, but with Joey Bosa out there and Derwin James, do you almost have to acknowledge that, or do you have to scheme for that a little bit?
Not really. I mean, if they were, if they really were going to hit the quarterback and stuff, then we would. But they just run by him, and we know it's a sack, so we're not going to go out of our way to just handle that. We're trying to get the work in with our players and stuff, and that's the biggest thing with all this stuff. It's fun to go against other guys. Guys want to get amped up and make it a big deal, which I get that it is, but the main thing is getting better throughout all this. So, everything that we decide on is how to put these guys in a position that allows them to learn something, whether it's good or bad, so they're better in the season. It's not really about winning the day.
Bosa hit the ball once, and he was yelling. Was he not supposed to hit the ball?
No, he's not. Our Bosa didn't hit their ball today, so I don't know why he did that.
Do you want to dance with the starters before you decide which quarterback gives you the best chance to win?
I mean, I don't have to decide that. I don't need that to make that decision, but yeah, I'd like to get him some reps with the starters, not just to be with those guys, but you go get our ones go versus ones, and you get a little more challenging looks going versus the one defense.
Why was the Chargers a good team to kind of do the joint practice with?
I mean, you don't want to do someone you definitely don't want to do in your division. I'd rather avoid the NFC. You want to do someone on the other side, and I'd love to do someone that is different than what you practice against every day. And they have a really good scheme that's kind of the opposite of ours, so I think it really helps in that way.
Has Trey lapsed a little bit with his footwork, and is that common in someone's first camp? And how did he do today in that regard?
Yeah, he did better. But yeah, it's extremely common. I mean, kind of watch all the rookie quarterbacks around the league, and when they get in there, it's their first NFL games, and just like a lot of rookie every position, they get in there and they resort back to surviving and what they've done their whole career, and sometimes that's a little different at the NFL level. You can't just go out there and play. You got to be exact on your details, exact on your techniques, and the more you can do that and the more you make it automatic, then you don't lose it in the heat of battle. But that's kind of the story for all rookies. What's that? You guys know he's been in and out through most of this, and he's had some knee soreness. He's got some knee tendonitis. So instead of going, 1 day off and having to take 3 off, we just made the decision a couple days ago. We're going to shut him down for the week, make sure he gets at least 7 days off. And I think it was 5 days before that, so it's going to be a little over 10 days. And hopefully when we go Oakland week, that'll be the right answer and help him be a little bit better, and hopefully he can come out then.
Did Nick Bosa make any plea to try to practice against familiar guys?
No, I know how bad he wants to, but Nick is very thorough and thought out on this whole plan, and every day Nick's got to hold himself back and everything, and we're doing it too. But we got a plan, and Nick's sticking to it, and it's smart that he is.
Is Hurt's knee tendonitis part of from his ACL injury?
I believe so. I'm not a doctor, but not usually.
You're making cuts as this is happening. How difficult is it when you have injured players who might be on the board?
No, it's a huge challenge, and that's what I was trying to explain a couple weeks ago. But that's the hard thing of the NFL. I mean, Mosley tweaked his hamstring, so he's out for a week. Would have loved to kept 4 quarterbacks and kept Josh Rosen, but when you got to cut 5 guys this year, so much earlier, and then you lose 1 corner, you don't have enough guys to practice. So sometimes you can't keep a 4th quarterback, and it goes that way for everything. Like it's injured guys, especially guys who can play. Guys that have been like that, like D Ford, guys like Jalen. We all know how good they can be and how much they can help us. But you got to play all that into account because the 53 is tough, and you want to make sure you don't lose other players that can help you throughout the year.
Well, it was so much discussion on our end about the quarterback stuff. Are you looking at this it seems like you're pretty at ease and you're pretty relaxed, not stressed about making this decision. Is this for you just a really good situation to be in terms of having 2 guys that you think could potentially win games?
Yeah, I can't get caught up in everything else. I get why it's fun, and that's a decision that everyone's interested in. But I can't make it about that. I'm just really excited that, I think we've always had a quarterback like Jimmy who can give you the chance to win a Super Bowl. And when he hasn't been in, we've really struggled. And I also think we drafted a guy who can get there also, which, that makes me very excited. However that plays out, whatever gives us the best chance to win is definitely what I'm trying to focus on. But I'm also excited that I think we have some depth there too, to where regardless of what happens, I know you have other answers.
We'll take 3 more.
Kyle, at this point, you think you're going to keep 3 quarterbacks?
I would like to. We got 3 guys who can play, so I would definitely like to. But that's the tough thing about the 53. Where do you go extra at another position? How do you go under? Are you going to lose guys? What's the practice squad? But if it was as simple as, do we have 3 quarterbacks who can help us? Then yes, we will.
How Justin Barrett looked during training camp?
Jason?
Jason.
Sorry, I do that all the time too. Not with him, but he's been great. I love JV. I'm sure he's thought of very highly here too. The way he carries himself. What I was talking about, Derwin. You can see special guys on the field and how talented they are, but you also see what's special when you get around someone like that and know how they are. And he's a bulldog. He's competitive as can be. He's as tough a guy as we have out there, and I think one of the better leaders on this team, even though you don't hear him talk all the time.
Juwan Jennings got a touchdown here in the end zone. How can a big receiver like that help you guys in high leverage situations, like in the red zone or third?
When he plays big, which he does. So he does both, and that's why Juwan's giving himself a chance to make this team and giving himself a chance to help us. Because yes, he does have some size, but it's also his mindset too. I mean, he's aggressive in everything he does. He comes off the ball as hard as anyone. He attacks that ball. There's no difference between a run play and a pass play for him, and that mentality is why he was successful in college, and that's why he's trying to prove himself in the league the same way.
Do you highlight that in film to your players, like the way he plays?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I highlight stuff every single morning to the team. So whoever gives me the most stuff and examples, I always show. But Juwan's he's had a lot of clips here in the last few days.
Will you do Garoppolo and the starters throughout the first quarter?
I don't know yet, and I mean that. How much you get off these practices, I never decide before a scrimmage because I want to see what they got here today. I really want to have a big one tomorrow, and then I evaluate where our guys are, how hard the workload was, and see if the game is worth it for them and who needs to do it.
Last one right here, guys.
You have to guard in the second round, kind of indirect message to your previous guard, Brunskill. How did he did you like sit, after talk to him and say, hey, obviously you're going to be competing, or how has he just responded to that situation?
I don't know. I never talked to him about it because I didn't look at it like that. We're just drafting him to replace Brunskill. I thought Brunskill played at a high level last year, whether it was at guard, whether it was at center. I thought he played at a high level for us at tackle the year before when we had some guys go down. We want to make sure we have our 5 best players out there. And when you got some versatility of that, I don't think anyone looks at it as just a replacement to them. We'll see how it all shakes up, but it was tough for Banks getting injured, missing these 2 weeks. He's a guy we believe in a lot, but he needs to play too. And we got some other guys with a lot more experience, but hopefully we'll get him back, and at least in this last week or so of preseason, and give him a chance to compete a little bit.
And what is his
Shoulder. Yeah, shoulder something. I don't get into the details. Probably a bad bruise. I think it's a minor AC sprain. Yeah. The reason I don't say that stuff is because I don't ask as hard. It's 1 to 2 weeks. So 1 to 2 weeks. Bruise, AC sprain. I'm not a doctor. Exactly.
Appreciate it, guys.
All right, guys. Thanks.
everyone?
Fred, how much does it help your defense to go up against a quarterback like Justin Herbert?
It helps a ton, honestly. Justin's a great young quarterback, talented. You saw the season he had last year. He's continuing to grow. You can feel the ball kind of spinning out of his hand out there. So it's great to go up against any type of different competition. We needed a change up in training camp, going against our guys every day at practice. So it's just good to be out here and compete.
The PBU you had in the corner over there was against a tight end, I think, who's 6'8". How much do you relish the chance to go up against a guy that's that tall?
Oh yeah, no, they got some big bodies at tight end. It was just a play where honestly he had the leverage on me. I just had to play hands to hands, and made the play.
You guys in 2019 had really good energy early on in joint practices with the Broncos. I'm assuming it was similar for you guys over there on that side today. When you get your guys together or approach the mindset of bringing that energy, how would you describe it?
Yeah, honestly, that's just how we are on a day-to-day basis. It doesn't change. We bring the energy every day at practice, and so when we come out here, there might be a little extra knowing that we're going against another team, but we try to be as consistent as possible day in and day out, be the same guys every single day.
Fred, after an all-pro season, how do you plan on building on it last season?
I think it just starts back from square one every season. That year I had is behind me. I'm trying to build, in every part of my game. I'm coming out here every day working on something different, and it's just good to compete, But yeah, just trying to work on the little details. That's what's ultimately going to help me become a better player.
Who motivates you to get better on your squad? Obviously, you have an internal drive, but on your team, who motivates you within the team for him to get better?
I'd say honestly that all the guys. It might sound cliche. Especially the guys on defense, those young guys in our group, the linebacker group. They especially drive me because I feel like we're all young. We all have something to prove. We all come out here with a chip on our shoulder when we step in between the white. And that helps us to really get after it when the whistles blow.
It seemed that Dre Greenlaw was flying around today. What's the biggest improvement you think he's made over the offseason?
Yeah, Dre's been great this whole training camp offseason. He's cut down weight a little bit, so he's flying around. He's moving well. He's been physical as he's ever been. I tell him, and I'll tell anyone that I think he's the X factor on our defense. When he's flying around and he's making plays, our defense looks different. So I'm looking forward to continuing to see him grow.
Nick Bosa, when he comes back, what does he bring to your defense?
He's a game wrecker, honestly. You've seen him that rookie year that he had. Unfortunately, he went down last year. But anytime he's on the field, the offense got to account for him on every single play. Disrupting the backfield in the run game and pass game, he's a freak. So when we get him back, it'll be good.
Fred, have you been watching him on working on the side throughout camp and seeing how much he's putting in?
Oh yeah, that's just how he is. He works his butt off day in and day out. It doesn't matter if it's beginning of off season, toward end of season. It doesn't matter what time of year it is. He's been grinding. He's been working. That's something that you never got to question. I watch the defensive individual drills on the iPad when I can. He looks great. I'm just looking forward to having him back soon.
He just said he was going to keep it simple in the preseason game. Are you guys doing that again here in practice?
Yeah, I feel like we keep it simple to try and play fast, play physical, play our style. It was pretty simple.
There was a play early on where it looked like you blitzed, and they called a sack. I'm wondering who on the defense did you guys credit with that sack?
I can't remember which play. I came on a few of those blitzes, but everybody was. I feel like there was a lot of plays where he was, Herbert was having to pat the ball. We had would-be sacks, trying to just get disruption any way that we can. All right, guys. Thanks.
Jimmy, this defense has Derwin James, Joey Bosa, a lot of playmakers. What was it like to go up against their defense today?
It was good. It was a good challenge for us. I'm always a fan of seeing new looks, new defenses, all that stuff, and I thought we handled it well. It was competitive all the way through, and I love this stuff.
Jimmy, years ago, you were the young quarterback trying to challenge to earn a spot on the team. Now you got another young quarterback behind you. How did that change your preparation?
Honestly, it doesn't too much. I come out here, I'm trying to earn the job the same way as everyone else is. I think it's one of those jobs where you got to come out and compete every day, and as soon as you stop competing, you're gonna find out real quick what the NFL is like. And so every day I approach it the same. Try to have just a consistent mindset and let the chips fall as they may.
Like you were pushing the ball downfield a lot today. Was that something that was just there, or was that okay? Let's try to go deep a little bit here.
No, same as every other day really. When they give us the chances, we got to take them. Similar to our practices back home, but just we got more chances, I guess, today at it. But yeah, it was made some plays down the field. It was nice.
Talk about the development of number 11, if you would.
BA, man, he's come a long way, especially since rookie year. I think this year he's been more consistent. The fight in him, it's been coming out more and more. It's a little more personality you see from the guy, and I like to see that. One-on-ones you see him get pissed off or something like that, and it's good.
When he has that growth, does that give you more confidence to kind of go at him and give him more catches?
Yeah. I think you could kind of see it in a guy's eyes. If they have it going that day, if they don't. And BA's one of those guys who's just consistent. He brings the same energy every day, and those are the guys you want to go into the huddle with.
There's no words for the guy who swiped the ball out of your hand.
He said sorry as he passed me. Yeah, he sounds just like Nick. It was kind of funny in my head, but you're upset at the time, and then you hear him say sorry, Jim, at the same time. It was, just a Bosa thing, I guess.
there was in another situation there was some back and forth. I don't think you were involved with it, because you were like 44. But then you saw Kyle get into it a little bit. Did you see that? What was that like, listening to all that?
No, I mean it's that's why you're out here. You enjoy that stuff. I don't know. That's the competitive nature, and when you go against the same guys and your own team every single day, it gets monotonous at times. So, like I said, it's refreshing to come out here and get a little bit of that.
Kyle said that a lot of quarterbacks sort of revert fundamentally to maybe some bad habits when they get in games or live situations like this. Did you deal with that in your first training camp, and what was your mindset in trying to work through it?
Yeah, I think. I think all players kind of, it happens, not just quarterbacks, but all players, it happens. When the bullets start flying, you just go to your instincts kind of. And so it's, I don't know, it's one of those things you got to work through. It takes reps, takes time. I don't know, there's no secret formula to it. You just got to work through it.
How do you think Trey's dealing with that?
I think Trey's doing good with it. Trey's very, like I said, was saying about BA. He's very, consistent, pretty even keeled the whole time, and that's what you want to see out of a young guy.
Couple more, please.
Jimmy, you supporting Trey and all that, but there was a picture of you on the sideline, during your touchdown to Sherfield. You looked genuinely excited. I mean, so
Our team scored, yeah. Why would?
Trey Lance keeps throwing 80-yard touchdowns. It's maybe not great for you, but I mean, obviously you can separate, those two things in the moment. Say, hey, this is great for our team.
Oh yeah. You can't worry about those things. I'm excited we scored a touchdown. The team scored a touchdown. It was an exciting moment on the sideline. I think me and Mo were kind of standing there. We knew the play and everything, and kind of knew what was going to happen, and so we were ready for it, and it was an exciting moment. I mean, we're out here playing a game. You got to enjoy it.
What did you think about the interception in the end zone? What you saw in that play?
Which one down here?
Yeah.
They just dropped deep. Trying to remember the play right now. Yeah, they dropped deep. We went underneath, tried to lay it out to the guy when he was breaking out, and just left it a little short. But those are the things you got to work through.
How's the other Trey doing? How's he developing as a route runner?
Oh, he's been coming along. He really has. Trey's got some dog in him too. Or Trent. Wait, you say Trey or Trent?
Sermon.
Trey Sermon. Sorry, I was talking about Trent Sherfield. Trey's been doing really well. He had a couple nice pickups today in protection. Really stood the linebackers up. He's got a long way to go, like all rookies, but he's coming along real nicely.
On one of your big plays, it was Kittle pass blocking against Bosa.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody doesn't cheer for the pass; they cheer for Kittle blocking him. Did you all know that was what had to happen on that play, and did you all sense that was going to be a pretty big matchup?
Yeah. I mean, that's how it goes. I think George locked him up pretty well. Felt him a little bit, but whenever you could get a tight end to block a DN like that, it's always a good thing.
Thanks, Jimmy.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Which one's the dog?
What?